Correctional Services National Commissioner Makgothi Thobakgale is now overseeing the opening of a bakery at the new prison in Pietermaritzburg. It's being operated by prisoners as part of a program to provide them with skills. Newzroom Afrika Silethiwe Ndlovu joins you now live with more on the Silethiwe. Good morning to you. Important to see that prisoners leave prison with some kind of trade, some kind of skill. What facility is being opened there today?
Good morning, Stephen. Quite right. And those are some of the sentiments really that have been raised by some of the offenders that we've been talking to this morning about how those different programs are quite helpful when they actually have to re-enter society. Currently, we are inside a steel workshop, but prior to this one, we were at a bakery where, that particular bakery is newly built here in New Prison, Pietermaritzburg, and we know that they supply bread to different centers, 4 different centers around this place. But I just want to bring in the National Commissioner for Correctional Services to speak to us more about some of the programs that we have here at New Prison. Thank you once again for your time. Just to start off, talk to us about some of the programs that are available here.
Well, we were at the bakery, we went to the pharmacy, and now we're at a steel workshop. We have different enterprises. We have the wood workshop, and we also have the textile workshop. Basically, these enterprises are meant to provide our offenders with opportunities for skills development, for training, education, as part of their rehabilitation and correctional programs.
Why would you say it's important for these different activities to actually continue, particularly when you are looking at those different offenders that have to re-enter society?
Well, to start with, they will leave the correctional facility with skills that will have been tested, complying or a particular level of competence in line with unit standards would have been, confirmed. So out of this steel workshop, for instance, we are producing desks, steel, pipes for desks. We are producing lockers, we are producing palisade fencing, we are producing gates. You see the gates that you normally see in farms. So when you leave a correctional setting as an offender, you have those skills, you can start your own steel workshop. But what is also very important is that you can impart those skills to the community. You can even, with your operation, provide employment to members of the community. So the reintegration process is enhanced by the skills, the education, the training that offenders are exposed to.
I know, Commissioner, you just mentioned that earlier on we were at the bakery. Now we are in a steel workshop. Later on we're going to a wood workshop. What is the selection criteria for those different offenders to actually work in those different activities?
When an inmate gets into a correctional facility, we do assessments. We check the areas of strength and weaknesses. And of course, throughout the years that they spend with us, we also look at the record, the disciplinary record. We also check their attendance also of rehabilitation programs. I'm talking about the psychosocial programs. I'm talking about, behavioral change programs. And of course, as I've indicated, that builds a record that we then consider in terms of selecting those that will be allowed to come and work, whether they work in our farms or other enterprises. What is important is the classification. So for instance, we cannot bring into a workshop setting like this an offender that is classified as high risk, because obviously, that will go against security, the security standards and the establishment that we have here as a correctional facility.
Commissioner, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. The National Commissioner for Correctional Services speaking to us about the different offender labor activities that we have here at New Prison in Pietermaritzburg.